Alright, what's going on, guys? Crazy NC Man here, trying to resurrect the Airsoft Answers YouTube channel. This is the only YouTube channel about Airsoft where you, the viewer, can submit the content. Now, since my last video, YouTube has changed to where we can't run like polls or ask questions anymore. Unfortunately, they keep changing and changing and changing stuff, not always for the good. So, in order to get your question on this show, either email it to me here on YouTube or go over to my Facebook page, which is displayed on the screen and also linked in the description, where you can ask a question there that you want to put on this show, or you can start a poll or whatever. So anyways, the last one I put on there, I started a poll, asked people what they wanted to put on the show, and the top rated poll question was, what causes lipo fires? And that is something I'm not even going to get into, because I don't have a whole lot of knowledge on lipo batteries. I have some, but if you start reading about lipo fires, especially if you go into RC forums and stuff, there's so many, variables and so many opinions. I'm not even going to touch on that subject. I know it can come from anything from an imbalance in the cells. It can come from the motor versus the C rating is not right. You can get them wet and they ruin the battery. I don't know, getting it wet doesn't cause a fire, but just bad batteries in general. I've seen the really cheap ones catch fire, but I'm not going to touch that one. So the next one in the poll was, how many rounds can I safely get out of a 7.4 volt LiPo, which is something like this little Gens Ace. This is a really nice little LiPo, by the way, nice, small, compact. I didn't sit down and shoot this battery until the end of it. The first thing you need to know is a LiPo battery, you don't want to run the voltage down too far or you will ruin the battery. So what you want to do is, if you're running a LiPo, you want to run a low voltage alarm for sure. Because like I said, if you run your battery under, I believe it's 3.5 volts, it just ruins it. So they have a what's called a low battery tester / alarm, which you see on the screen now, and you have to run one of those. So when your battery starts getting low, it starts to beep, so you can hear it and stop shooting. A lot of people like, oh, when you hear the rate of fire slow down on your gun, stop using it. Get a low voltage alarm, period. Don't take any chances. You don't want to ruin your batteries. But back on the question, how many rounds can I safely get out of it? Basically, with nickel metal hydride, we've said 2 to 3 rounds per milliamp hour. So if you get a 1600 milliamp hour nickel metal hydride battery, you're going to get about 3200 rounds, maybe a little more. Lipos are a little, the voltage is more consistent through the entire battery cycle. So you may find a little bit more. You may get 3 to 4 shots per milliamp hour, but I always just stick with that 2 to 3 is about what you're going to get. So in this case, a 7.4 volt 1600, you're probably going to get about 3,000 shots. But again, to safely use your LiPo, get a low voltage alarm. When you start hearing that alarm beep, take that battery out, it's done. Put it back on the charger, put it on a balancing charger too. Don't buy those cheap chargers that don't balance. But anyways, that answers the question here, hopefully. I know it's a little bit generic, but go over to my Facebook, post more questions for Airsoft Answers, and just email them to me here, and every week we'll crank out a video answering the viewer questions.